Hi everyone. Do give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Hi friends. Hi viewers. I'm back again. Deepti be joining us soon. She's actually on the backstage now, so I'll be inviting her to the channel. Before that, I would like to say hi to everyone again. There'll be more Sushant Diaries. There'll be more information be revealed in tonight's video. Before that, let's invite Miss Deepti ma'am. I think she just before I'm about to invite her, she have left the screen. Okay, so she'll be back soon. So I'll be putting up on screen. Um, Lately, Anil Deshmukh have been mentioned in the by Sachin Waze in the charge sheet that he have actually informed or instructed Sachin Waze to put Arnab Goswami behind bars and using a TRP case. So when there's minister levels giving instruction to the police force to act on certain, such kind of bad things. So in Sushan case, what would have happened? Is it some instructions coming down from the higher level that the police actually carrying out the act? It looks like something like that may have happened. But let's welcome Deepti ma'am. Hi ma'am.
Hello,
Hi.
Bachanji. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you, Deepti ji? You have been busy, and then at the same time, you're working very hard for justice. Thank you so much once again. And
Uh,
nice
I
to
feel
you.
I feel I am working because this is something that people should know. It's for our future only. It's for us only. So, of course, I mean, life has become very hectic with all the pressures and uh, risks that have come along with this thing. But it's okay.
Yeah,
Someone has to do it. So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
yeah,
glad. Hmm.
And Bachanji, it's very important that you people, I mean, some of the
Mhm.
few genuine YouTubers that are left, you, Meena ji, Mitra ji, and others are also there, AS Media and all. So all these people should now step up the accelerator. They should now step up the pedal. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So now the tendency will be that so much time has gone by. The authorities are silent. The agencies are silent. Maybe nothing will happen, and finally, after getting frustrated, people will start losing hope. That's where you people have to play a major role, because a lot of developments are happening. A lot of developments are happening on the political front, as well as ED or whatever agencies are taking some actions, though none of them are reaching the logical conclusion so far. But
Okay.
a lot of things are happening. So I request all of you who are genuinely here to make a difference in this justice movement, kindly keep updating the viewers, keep them interested, keep them glued to the movement,
Yeah, yeah.
because this time we are not going to stay silent till justice is served.
Yes, yes. We will.
Right?
It's gonna make
Yeah.
more noise. This, in
Yes, we
fact,
have to.
Deepti J, I was just mentioning before you came on board that the recent case where the charge sheet again, Sachin Wazi, that he mentioned that Anil Deshmukh gave instruction to put Arnab Goswami behind bars. So I was highlighting the fact that the ministers are giving instruction to the police to act upon things like this, which are actually terrifying. Putting the bomb outside Ambani's house and pretending that they're going to settle the case, solve the case and all that, and then sitting in the Mumbai of no, I think commissioner office and discussing this there. So when I hear all this, I also feel that maybe similar things may happen towards Sushant case. We do not know. It's just a suspicion or doubt that I have in my mind. But I hope at the end of the day there will be justice. People like you out there is actually voicing out. Nobody in the media stream, in the main news stream, are actually talking about Sushant case at all. They have completely stopped. Like what you say, yes, yes, I'll do my best to.
See, mainstream media have become agents of power.
Yeah.
Mainstream media has become agents of power. And if you, I mean, don't go by what I'm saying. Just do a little bit of research into who are the actual funders or who are the actual owners of these mainstream media channels and publications. You will yourself get the answers as to I mean, the narratives which suit the funders or which only those are being reported, not the actual truth.
Hmm.
So that's why I
Okay.
keep saying that you people have a very big role to play. You have to play the role of media, the fourth pillar of democracy. Mainstream media has left its job. Now it is acting as an agent of power. Okay. So
Okay.
as the fourth pillar of democracy, it's you people who are running these shows where the truths that are buried are being shown. Now you people are enacting the role of the fourth pillar of democracy. Okay, that's why I keep saying you people are very important in this moment.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, G. So, okay, we will dive into the diaries. Probably can
Yeah,
proceed. Yeah.
straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start straight away. Last time I will continue from where I left last time.
Okay. Or you
Yeah, sure.
can, yeah. Or you can do the last, the latest too. Up to you.
Uh, you tell me what should I do because I'm not sure.
Because I think a bit more than a week. So I was thinking whether there's quite a bit of
More than
diaries. Yeah.
3 weeks, yeah.
No, no, no. I think it's more
Uh,
than a week,
but
not 3 weeks. Yeah.
since your people, I mean, you have a different set of audience who
Yeah.
you know, so they might
Right.
want to go in
Oh,
continuation.
okay.
So
Can
I will
we'll
go
do
from
that.
where I left. Okay.
Okay. Can. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Go
So
ahead.
shall I start?
Yep.
Yeah. So many matches that have happened during these years. You go back and see how the matches changed. When and can these dramatic changes be realistic? It can happen once or twice, but every time, each and every time. And how is it that a certain set of people predict the exact outcome of the match, even before the match has begun? I'm not just talking out of the blue, I'm talking because I have experienced it. Sandeep and Neeraj are FM radios. When betting comes into the picture, and these people say IPL betting can actually feed you the entire year. Invest, please invest. But for me, the thing that did not let me do this was the values I was taught. The money that comes to you without your sweat, it goes away as and how it came to you. So I did not put a lot of thought behind it. Now, the only thing that I learned from here is that these are not live matches, but matches conducted for the sake of entertainment. And therefore, and there for sure is something here with the payments too, and the company owners having a share in the income it generates, because most of the high voltage encounters happen in the weekend, and this is how everyone is kept happy. Lalit Modi, the only reason this person is at large is because this man was there everywhere, and the only reason why Sharad Pawar and the other people who are involved in so many things which a common man, if would have done, would be dead and reborn at least 10 times by now, is still roaming free. The golden rule, what these people follow is that they have one weakness of yours while you have one of theirs. If you open your mouth, they open theirs too. Else, tell me one good reason why are these people at large? The answer is the share game. Whatever happens, everyone has his share in it. So, indirectly or directly, all of them are involved in this. And if someone is caught, the only way to stay safe and make sure there is nothing on you is by watching each other's back. You scratch mine, I scratch yours. You watch mine, I watch yours. This is how it has been. And this is the reality. The sooner we understand this, the better it would be for us. The bottom line and my verdict around it is, was Subhash Chandra, I'll read this again, Bachchanji. The bottom line and my verdict around it is, was Subhash Chandra started and what turned out to be a successful experiment was fine-tuned, and the tournament was changed, and the medium too, was only because one person wanted to have everything. The only thing that one should appreciate about this system that is in place is that everyone has their share of the cake, and they do it regularly with utmost sincerity and dedication, and have everything streamlined beautifully to perfection. And this is how these people work. The next slide onwards, I will go in depth to all this and ensure that I get the things out here, and then make sure I discuss also about the plan how to put this out. For now, the only thing that we all need to be careful about is how to get this out first and then make the noise, because if both go hand in hand, the matter will be suppressed and you will end up facing the music alone. At this point in time, there is one thing that satisfies me, and that is the fact that I have enough material to expose each and every one of them. And from the next slide onwards, I will go ahead with the big families and the dirty secrets of these big families. I hope and pray that people at least now understand that they are being played with when all these things were hid from people. The agenda behind it was to keep the real picture away. How long will these people succeed? Why are they succeeding? Why are we silent? When we take this simple IPL event itself, why are we blind not to see through? I have the following questions I will throw up to you. If your mind, after reading my questions, won't ask you the same, then I think only God can help you out. But yes, one thing is there, that is, you need to see through things. And I will pray to God that He gives you the strength that you can see through things. My questions are as follows. Number one, when a channel was not given broadcast rights because they did not have sports marketing experience, how can a sporting event have team owners who did not have experience too? Number two, you ban certain teams for alleged involvement in match fixing. Then how can you have organization? Then how can you have an organization be the owner of a team whose name just flashed out in the 2G scam? Within brackets, Sun Network, Sunrisers Hyderabad. Number three, how can you have people in your administration who have little or zero knowledge of sport? Number four, how can the agencies remain quiet when such a huge betting scam is out? That the investigation is only limited to a certain number of players or just a couple of teams, but not the event at whole. When the betting incident came out, how is it possible that the organizing body had no knowledge of it? Does that mean the organizers were so naive that they couldn't make out or report about it before it happened? Number five, when names like Vindu Dhara Singh and other names from Bollywood industry made out in the betting incident, why are Shah Rukh Khan and Preeti Zinta still allowed to continue as team owners? Do you think that we are so dumb not to understand that when such an incident has occurred, only a particular set of people are involved? Why is the thing not deeply investigated? Why are things not out clear for the public to know? Number six, when so many wrongs are happening at particular venues, why is there no action being taken on the same? Shah Rukh Khan is banned from entering the Wankhede Stadium. Still, you continue to let him own a team. What is the message that you want to spread to the younger generation? Number seven, some teams come in for a limited amount of time and then are out of it. Why so? And the biggest question, when Rajasthan had changed its ownership, why is Chennai Super Kings ownership still the same? Why is it that people who were under the radar for still led to continue owning teams, and the management did not raise questions or ask for logical explanation on the same? Why is it that so biased that there is no clarity with the payments? And also so much confusion about why so many things concerned with the event still remain unanswered. Again, getting back to the topic, when a channel was not given broadcasting rights, how can it have presenters who had little or zero knowledge about cricket? These are the set of questions that I have jotted down, and I feel this is enough to open the eyes of people and force them to think. But the only worry here is that how will people take this? Because this, I can understand, is too hard on them and actually like a shock. But as a matter of fact, after you have some sort of realization on these events and you go back and ask yourself, how can I be sure that what has happened and what has gone wrong? These set of questions should be the ones that will make its way to your brain. This can be a little tough on you, but the fact is a fact, and we need to take it the way it is. It might not be pleasant, but then the truth is the truth. When Sahara came under the radar of the agencies, they should have also investigated on the cricket angle of Sahara. How is it that the company did so much of blunders, but the main reason they came into public eye was never addressed? How is it that the apex court of the country too did not find it important to call or question the BCCI for the money that earned because of Sahara sponsors? And Sahara did have a team in the IPL too. Now let me ask this question, a simple, straightforward one. Is this a sporting event or something where every financial blunder can be hit? I might be thinking too much or making illogical connections here, but give me one good reason, not two. Things are very clear and like an open and shut scenario, which I can see through. And when I can see through and apply logic, how is it possible that the agencies have not investigated on these angles? If the agencies want any success in decoding the 2G scam and also some other scams that have happened since 2018, then I think some big questions have answers hidden in these sporting events. But then it's up to the so called intellectual minds to take a wise decision. And I am not sure how the things will unfold, but what I have worked on, I will keep it out to the public. Because the only way a change can happen is when the right questions are asked. And for the right questions to be asked, it is very important that we have the right set of information to frame the questions around it. And I will make sure I will keep all this out because these informations that I have received are fair enough to help anyone get to a conclusion or carry any investigation proof for it or no proof for it. If the answers really are to be sought, the best way is keep things transparent and let the public to know what is happening. I am forced to go back, but yes, this question needs to be asked. When Jia Khan was murdered and CBI came into the picture, did the CBI not take charge of everything from the scratch? What is the CBI waiting for? Why did it take a civilian to do the work which they were supposed to do? And why is the CBI quiet when the accused is throwing one allegation over the other? And why is no one here able to understand who the culprit is when such a huge statement was given that even a kindergarten kid would conclude there is foul play? Within apostrophes, I have no sympathy for Rabia Khan. So this statement, I have, Bachchan I want to explain to the viewers here what he has written. I have no sympathy for Rabia Khan was the statement given by Aditya Pancholi to one of the magazines. It's there over. I think in one of the magazines on the cover page,
Okay.
he had given this interview, and the statement which was gave a bold statement saying that I have no sympathy for Rabia Khan. So that is
Okay.
what Sushant is mentioning here. That is what Sushant mentioned here, that if someone can give such a statement, then the guilt is obvious.
Yes. Correct. Correct.
Okay. So I will
Yeah.
continue reading now. I'm not deviating from the topic. The only point that I'm trying to make is that when a common man can see through things and can analyze so well, why is he not involved in the matter? Why is he not kept in the scheme of things? What is such big a secret in things when it's a legal battle? And when legalities are involved, why is it important to keep things behind closed doors? I just fail to understand that why is there no sense of responsibility or accountability? And if we come out with our questions, why is it that fingers are pointed out on the people who come out with logical questions? And why are they termed as anti? Is it only that the common man is a money generating machine for the government? And that's it? Why is it that everyone, whoever when in power, points fingers and others at others, and when not in power, keeps hooting that if we come to power, we will do this, we will do that? There are a lot of things that are not right, and they will remain the way they are till we arise and awaken. This is the need of the hour, that the common man wakes up from his slumber and starts to see things. Everything everywhere is connected in one way or the other. Yet these connections are invisible to the authority. If we fasten up our boots, and then I can vouch for it that no crime can happen in our country. But again, these three scenarios, which have always been the brakes for any good to happen in the country since ages, are: number one, the people who do wrong; number two, people who support the wrong and do not do their jobs properly; number three, people who do not let others do their jobs properly. These three are there everywhere, and since ages have ensured that the corruption, the system, and the slowness in work remains forever. And the funniest part of it is that we have got used to it. Look how foolish we are when we all know that we are the ones who are doing everything for everyone, yet we remain silent when we need to ask for the returns to our investment. There are toll booths and they have charges, yet there are potholes on the roads. There are different kinds of taxes we pay, yet when we face some issue where we need answers, there is no answer. You go to one, he sends you to the another. And when you go to the other one, he sends you elsewhere. This has been happening since eternity, and the outcome of this is that you lose interest and keep quiet. Why is it this way? Why cannot we all stand in unity and ask for our right? Why is it that only when something is needed from us is the time when we are approached? When there are disasters or when there is trouble in one form or the other, The government comes out and asks people to support. What happens to the same government when the time comes for administration? Is the law in our country sleeping? Is the law in our country sleeping? Are our systems weak? Are we outdated? The answer is a big, big, big no. We have everything in us, but the only thing we lack is intent, the will to finish what we have started. There are so many incidents where justice can happen within a matter of months, but still it does not. And when things happen in front of our eyes, we either close our eyes or sleep off. IPL today, everyone might be enjoying it, but the days are not far, where one day this very event will be the catalyst for a major blunder that our country will see. When I go back and analyze, I see the same. And if I have to put it out in the right way, as per my thought process, then I would put it out this way. The scammers who have been doing all this since ages behind the doors now have an open public platform where they can team up and do everything in the open and do it as a collective unit. I'm sorry if I have gone too far, but the indications and the way the things are handled, I am helpless. But to conclude this way, because see the chain of events and how the changes have happened, and then tell me what I am telling is wrong. When I come out with this, I will not just feed this all to you. I am open for questions, and I'm sure people will use their logical and add logical questions to the questions I have. And to the bad mouthers, welcome to help us fuel our morale. The one pattern here in this sporting event too is the connection Bollywood politics, police, and the underworld. And when this connection establishes, then the outcome everyone knows and has seen in the dates of history. Is crime will follow, and I would like to repeat once again, if we continue to ignore these warning signals, then very soon there will be a day when IPL will be one of the main reasons for something real bad that will happen in the country. And I can bet on it that this matter too might be put to rest and this angle might never come out. But I will make sure I will keep these connections out so that people grow wise. And next time something goes wrong, they have an idea on what questions need to be asked. How can it always be coincidence that just before something bad has to happen, some event or the other revolves around it? This cannot be a coincidence each time, every time. But then what can be done? We are not given the clear picture, never. And we do not ask questions. This getting used to attitude of ours is the biggest plus the people who want to exploit us have and have been using it against us since a very long time. I fortunately have some people with me who will stand with me when I come out with this. Until the last drop of blood is flowing in my body, I will fight for this and make sure I will make an impact. And if something happens to me, then my work will do the trick. I just have one simple question to all the intellects and the intellectual minds that give a lot of gyan to people on various topics and hog the limelight always. What happens to your intellect when you see incidents like this, which clearly are pointers to some adverse situation that might follow? Look at the IPL and tell me for once that what issues I have raised are baseless. And there are no grounds for it. If you really are the person you claim to be, your heart definitely will say I am right. But one thing that I have understood and taken deep down inside me is that your certificate is what I want people is that your certificate is what I want. People are wise enough to judge for themselves and know for themselves what is right and what is wrong. But for me, the most important thing that comes into the picture is I need to keep it out as it is and make sure I do not add any strings to it or expect anything from anyone. Reliance, कर लो दुनिया मुट्ठी में. I am purposely mentioning this tag, कर लो दुनिया मुट्ठी में. Look at the way the entire company is functioning. Right from the days of the father, the only thing these people have done is copy and use the tactics the Britishers used. Everyone knows how Dhirubhai Ambani made it big, and then how he could make a name for himself. Now the things that I'm going to share will spill off some masks to such an extent that when the real face comes out, some egos will definitely take a hit. And that will make this battle even more intense. And the threats will multiply. But why should I care? I'm here just to get the facts out and make people realize how big a game these corporates play. To explain all this and again to show the incompetency of how our agencies failed us big time, this Ambani family is a stand-in example. But I have to be very careful and need to ensure I do not create a blunder here and make sure that the things that I want to tell the people of the country, I tell it to them without adding anything extra from my own pocket. So before I start, let me give a small backdrop on how I got my hands on this and what made me take this up and how are we going to expose this. Because when the name Ambani comes up, most of them go silent. जैसे मुंह में दही जम जाता है. Disha and Samir had some connections in the stock market, and when we were trying to do some work around how some organizations use stock market for their benefit, Samir met someone who exposed a lot of things. The man also gave out some dirty secrets which Samir could not digest easily. And when I met that person, I too was shocked, but had to believe what he said because again, the man, this superstar who worked in the movie Dash, told something that happened around the shooting of this film, which helped me connect instantly. And that's how my interest to pursue this began. So let's start from the beginning. But before I start, once again, let me tell you this. This probably is going to be one of the biggest chapters of my work. And please make sure you stick to every word I have written, as I have written, and take each word at a time. While trying to write this itself, I have used the backspace button more times than the amount of letters I have typed. The only reason I am spelling this out is because the people who are the subject here are really huge. And these people have a huge name and a strong backup to protect them. So when you decide you want to take this matter out, you should be ready and know all of this to each letter of it. If not, there is every possibility that you can be cornered. And when this family comes into the picture, as I have told earlier, everyone becomes the three monkey policy comes into the picture, and you will end up making a fool out of yourself. The man who gave so much information around the anti-nationals and such dangerous elements of the society himself said this is too deep and we need to be very careful, then think how serious this issue can be. But yes, there is truth here and strong indications of the incidents that have happened in the past. So the people of our country should know. But it is equally important that they know it completely and do not get confused. So it is very important that you or me, whoever gets this out, ensures that we have got it out in a way that we have kept the facts out. The entire thing that I know is so confusing that it is taking time for me to pen it down for the first time in this whole journey of mine. The fear that I might confuse people if I go wrong here keeps striking me. So I am making a strong effort here to make sure I put it out in the right way and will do it wisely. And I'm sure I will be successful. But if something goes wrong and I'm not able to finish what I have started, I have to be prepared for it. Be it my team who will come out with this as per my backup plan, or anyone else who will lay their hands on this, who wants to raise a voice against the wrong. The message I have here is loud and clear. Kindly get it deeply inside you so that you understand how exactly you should go about this. Every word written here from now on is an independent word. And if the word does not set in the sentence in the context of the spelling, grammar, or the meaning of the word, please make sure you read each word on its own and then the whole sentence once again, then the paragraph, and so on, because the matter is huge and confusing. I'm sorry if I have confused you, but the only thing I want to ensure here is that the right thing comes out, and we all have to be very careful around how we make sure we keep the right thing out. The people whom I am taking a stand against here are a powerhouse and are so powerful that they can make you dust in a matter of seconds. And there will be no trace of you anywhere. So it becomes very important that you understand this totally first, because you decide. Uh, so it becomes very important that you understand this totally first before you decide to act. And the first thing you need to plan, even before you think on what your action should be, is how you can ensure the information remains safe. See, the one thing that can happen to anyone, anytime, is that you can just be bumped off. but the idea and the work should not die. So it becomes important that first you take care of the safety of the information you are to share, then safety of the people who are working with you. Your safety will be taken care eventually. But if you lay out your cards in the open, then there is no way anything can be achieved out of this. Because this is a David versus Goliath fight, where the king, within brackets system, thinks he is too huge to fight, and David, you and me, should now think that he is too huge to miss. And if we have this attitude and the preparations accordingly, this Goliath will soon bite dust and fall down. I do not have any enmity with these people, but the only complaint I have is the way they have exploited common man. And the common man has become a fool to these people and their agenda. I hope I have made myself very clear on my stand and request you to kindly be double sure on what you want to do and how you want to project this to the public. My way of working and your way of working might differ. That will not make much of a difference. But kindly ensure that your way of working does not make the work suffer. This is a humble request from me. The beer cartel incident of Bombay stock market. If impact has to be discussed as a subject anytime, anywhere, one classic example would be this chapter in the history of stock exchange, where the entire stock exchange had to halt all its operations for a period of 3 business days to settle this matter and for operations to resume. And the only person who had the last laugh was Dheeraj Lal Hirachand Ambani. Let me explain what exactly I got to know about this incident. When small allegations were being made on the Reliance group and what was called back then the polyester ghost started coming back on Reliance, there a good there was a group of stockbrokers called the Beer Cartel, basically from Kolkata, within brackets Calcutta. There was an input that Reliance will not be able to survive
I think we lost her a bit. Let's wait for her. All those friends who just joined us, yes, welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining us. And I would like to just mention a few names here. Hope she'll come back. Lost her again. Let's wait for Deepti ji. Mitra, Sashikala, Meenakshi, Divya, Padmama, Paromita, Anuraga, Devada, Charles, Abraham, Dinelo, Sandran, Raju. Thank you so much for your messages. Yeah, Aryan Timan, I didn't mention your name. Let me just highlight. Yes, Aryan Justice or Sridevi. Okay. Sandran Raju, we'll get Shanti soon. Yes, hope we get justice soon. Okay, for those who joined just now, just let me just repeat this. Deepti is actually reading the Sushant's diaries from where she stopped from my last session. And I'm doing this video in English, so there will be another video next week coming up, maybe in Tamil. The topic will be revealed later. So, because I've not been speaking in Tamil sometimes, I thought I should do a video in Tamil for my Tamil viewers. For now, let's just wait for her. I hope she's coming back. Let me just check it out what's happening. She probably sorted out a Wi-Fi problem. This is what happens when you're reading Sushant's diary or when you're trying to reveal some important information. So, let's see. Okay. It must be sorting out. Okay, let's just touch on the Sushant diaries. I've been following through Dipti G's Twitter account. For those who think they do not have time to watch a video and just want to read the diaries, I think by now most of them would have known. For those who do not know, please go to Dipti's Twitter account. It's actually at PDRani15, PDRANI 15. Okay, let's start going back. Yes, ma'am. G.
uh, yeah, some problem with the net connection.
Yeah, understand.
Okay.
For your case, I know you have quite a bit of these issues. Reading important materials. Carry on, man.
And I am talking about a very big name here.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yes. Yes. Right.
So and in one of your shows itself, Bachanji, I think I had even come out openly and taken the name of who actually was fiddling with the net connections and not allowing my audio to be clear, if you remember.
Can't remember actually. I do know we spoke about it, but I can't remember the name that has been mentioned actually.
Okay.
The actual
Uh,
name.
okay. Anyway, as it is, I'm getting into too much trouble. I will not repeat
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I
So,
do know that it happened a few times, and there's once you mentioned,
lot
but I
of
can't
times,
really recall
yeah.
the name. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I had shown in one of the shows as well. I'm not sure if it was yours or someone else's,
Mm-hmm.
but I had shown on the show that it was Reliance. The attacks were coming from Reliance, and I had shown the workspace of Reliance on the screen as well to show where the attacks were coming from. So I don't want to
Mm.
go into that. As it is, I'm
Okay.
already handling a very,
Having
very
problem. Yeah. Yeah.
controversial thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
So, yeah, where was I?
You were touching
Okay.
on the Ambani. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So when small allegations were being made on the Reliance group and what was called back then the polyester ghost started coming back on Reliance. There was a group of stockbrokers called the Bear Cartel, basically from Kolkata, within brackets Calcutta. There was an input that Reliance was putting all their efforts to ensure that their stock prices did not slide an inch. And seeing this as an opportunity to earn big, this cartel started to short sell the shares of Reliance. And to counter this, a group of stockbrokers, the friends of Dhirubhai, started buying these shares in the Bombay Stock Exchange. If experts from this period are to be believed, the hunter and the prey game was played. Dhirubhai knew all this very well since the very beginning, knew all this and played along, and made sure that this exchange went on till the last minute. The seller being under the impression that these buyers cannot keep up, and the buyers grouping up to create the ruckus, which unfolded hell on the stock exchange. Everything came out in the open when, on the day when the settlement was to happen, much to the surprise of the cartel, the bulls demanded the physical delivery of the shares. This took everyone by surprise, and the cartel was laid aback a lot of money. A lot of money was pumped in, still it was nowhere near settlement. The price, which was around 150 rupees, jumped to 180 rupees, and the stock market collapsed to an extent that the stock market had to be shut for 3 business days for the Unbadla account to be settled. And when the cartel brought shares from the market, Dhirubhai himself supplied most of these shares, making a huge profit out of it. The controversy begins now. When the people started questioning how a textile merchant could have so much money, the then finance minister of the country, Pranab Mukherjee, went ahead to quote in the parliament that an NRI investor had invested 220 million rupees in Reliance during 1982 to 1983. And these investments were made through various companies. And all the companies were registered in and all the companies were registered abroad. Just a second.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to ask me for proof, the biggest proof for this is the form of a book, The Polyester Prince, published in Australia by Hamish MacDonald in the year 1998. And the book could not be published in India because the Ambanis threatened for legal action. Samir has read the book and has testified that the book indeed has mentions in detail of all the ventures of Dhirubhai Ambani and his dirty connections in politics, the stock exchange, and also those rebel groups which had their holds in most of the businesses. And also, the book has everything in detail for everyone to know. One interesting chapter that comes up here, and yet again, the king of controversies makes his presence felt again, is yet another thing that interestingly connects elsewhere. This is how the things are. One thing connects somewhere that totally takes it elsewhere, and then it goes somewhere else. Now, let me put it accordingly. Kirti Ambani got arrested on the charges of conspiring to kill Nasli Wadia of Bombay dying. And the game of power begins here. Yet again, Ambanis were close to Sharad Pawar, and Pawar was a friend to Wadia too. And the game that happened in the back end was this something like this. The settlement for the time being was made, and then Kirti took the blame. But the bigger picture here was the way this unfolded. On one side was the Ambanis with name, fame, and the political power. On the other side, it was Wadia, who had his share of pros and cons too. But the biggest plus he had was the backup of Ramnath Goenka. The game was multi-dimensional and every angle was possible with the Ambanis believing that there were no grounds for them to eliminate Wadia, and Wadia stressing on the fact that his friendship with VP Singh and Goenka was a thorn in the Reliance, having total dominance everywhere. Each and every chapter is mentioned clearly and was out in the open too. But how the issue died down in the eyes of the public leaves me confused on how short lived the public memory is. Now the connection. Sharad Pawar was the president of BCCI when the IPL started. One team, the Mumbai Indians, owned by Mukesh Ambani, and another team, Kings 11 Punjab, owned by Nes Wadia and Preeti Zinta. And the other interesting connection here that needs to be made is the slapgate and the body language of the owners after the slapgate. A furious Srishant, who was roaring like a lion after the incident, suddenly goes silent and goes to an extent of pleading the judge not to ban Harbhajan. And above all, the signals the owners made. And that epic signal Preeti Zinta gave to Yuvraj Singh. It was out there everywhere, but we were fools enough not to give it a thought and see through it. Now, when I connect the incidents, it's quite clear that this is the story. And this family is involved hand in glove in most of the incidents. The biggest shock of the matter is how the Rajiv Gandhi government vouched open support for the Ambanis, with the main catch being PV Narasimha Rao. And since then, just check out how these people have maintained close connections with the people in power. But the intellectual minds are busy trying to tarnish the image of Modi ji, saying that he is close to the Ambanis. Now, if you go back and see the whole story from the Bombay Stock Exchange times, you will know how we were made fools and how we could not see through things. This is why I stressed on the point that every word in these slides is a proof all in itself for people. And if the story is put out like this, every single incident interlinks, and a lot of unsolved mysteries, a lot of unsolved cases will be solved, and a lot of answers that time ate up will shoot back, and karma will take its course. I am glad that my efforts are slowly showing results. And this is how important this matter is for the future of our country. These businessmen have ruined our country and are continuing to do so. I do not have any enmity with them, but yes, what they have done is wrong, and this wrongdoings cannot go unnoticed. This is how we were made fools of, and this is how the trend is continuing now as a logical person. Is it wrong for me to come to a conclusion that everyone is the same and each and everyone is involved? The main players always have remained the same, and it is you and me who is getting tortured and harassed. As the days passed, so many taxes and other burdens on our head. One small loan we don't pay, and banks come behind us like wolves. But these powerful people, no one really bothers to touch them. 70 years of the regime was the main support to all these people. 70 years. I'm not just telling Congress, I'm telling everyone. No one here had any intent to do anything to these people. I do not want to praise Modi ji here again, but my hope is high on the man who can actually bring the much needed change. But the only thing I can do now is wait and watch. But I will come out with my thing and keep it out in the public for the public to know what is the real now. When was the last time you heard that an agency has pleaded to the court that the charge sheet was accepted? And now the court is backtracking and favoring the accused. This has happened in the case of this man, Dhirubhai Ambani. Go back and read for yourself if you do not want to believe what I am telling. But one thing you will understand here is that petroleum, chemicals, and polyester, the three main businesses the Ambanis own, have been the center subject of most of the wrongdoings that have happened in the greater part of the 19th century, continued in the 20th century, and is making its presence felt in the 21st century too. With the Ambanis being the center subject in the 20th century, every issue that has created a problem in the society has revolved around these issues. Petroleum and chemicals have always been two things which every nation in the world has fought for and continues to fight. And in India, the giants for this are the Ambanis. I am not pinpointing on them, there are others too, but I will have to go deeper. I will make sure I will. But then I have to wait for Samir to finish what is on hand first, and then conclude what has to be done with the rest of the wolves who are also there. But I just fail to understand how could we miss all this? The only logical answer to this is that we were only shown things that they wanted us to see. Now that things are opening up, we can see the greater angle involved. And this is making a whole lot of difference to the understanding a common man can have to all these issues at hand. And this is why it is always said unless you get to know the entire thing, you cannot conclude on anything. There were a bunch of cases filed on Dhirubhai Ambani, but he got a clean chit everywhere and lived the life of a king till his last breath. Where was karma hiding? Though he got some strokes and died of a cardiac arrest, crimes done of the size of an elephant and the punishment you get is to the size of an ant is simply not acceptable. Moving further, when the Reliance launched the phones for 501, I think was the price everyone brought it in heaps. And then when the bills came, people had to sell off themselves to pay it off. This was one disaster of an incident that took place. And earlier, while discussing the 2G scam, I was telling about how Reliance was a major player. Now, the point to ponder over here is that how the business module of Reliance Communications unfolded and how it took over companies like MTS and the deals it struck with Aircel. Now, the game that is being played is the company is bankrupt. But what happened to all the revenue that was generated? There are no answers to these questions. And it's the irony that there will be no answers anytime sooner. And if we continue to our happy go lucky attitude, even this will die down. My prime focus here when I come out with this issue is to make the people aware of how much money was laundered in this entire exercise, right from the start of Reliance Communications to today, when Reliance Jio is operating. These people have minted money and made profits out of our hard earned money. Why is it that the utter business rivals of one time, when all doors were slowly getting shut on the younger Ambani, the elder Ambani jumped in to help him? And the biggest question now, when the Ambanis themselves grew under the wings of Congress, why is the Congress using Anil Ambani's shoulder to target our PM? And there is also another controversy that one of Anil Ambani's companies financed a French movie that came out during the time of the Rafale. This family, my God, has so many strings attached to them that this one family, if cornered and investigated almost all crimes that happened in our country, everyone will find answers to most of the unanswered questions. But I should make sure I just do not throw allegations on them. But the fact is that these people need to be exposed. And everything that is being shown is shown in a way the image of these people goes higher and higher and higher. But the fact is otherwise. Anyways, all I need to do is keep quiet and let the people explain themselves.
Okay, we lost her again. Hi, Mitra. Thanks for joining. And hi, Dave. Hi, Lalita. Thanks for joining in. I think we lost her again. I guess she's reading big names. Normally, whenever she read big names, she gets off. And right now, she's talking about Reliance. So, understandable. Actually, why you lost her. Let's wait for her to come in. And for all those who are joining in watching the video, hi, அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம், Sasika ji to everybody. Oh, namaste ji. Okay, she's back. We're talking about a big name here, that's why. Can you hear me?
Bachant, I think there's some problem with the connection. Am I clear? Can
Yeah,
you hear
I can.
me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but there's some disturbance in the connection.
I can hear you.
Am I clear?
Yeah, I can hear you. My screen is frozen, but I can. Yeah, okay. Now good, good.
Just a
Now it's
second.
good. Okay. So, yeah. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். அடுத்த வீடியோ நான் தமிழ்ல நிச்சயமா பேசுவேன் because been some time I have not been speaking to my viewers. Um, சில situationனால I couldn't do videos very often, but I'm trying as much as possible to வாரத்துல ஒரு தடையாவது வந்து வீடியோ செய்யணும்னு I will definitely do it. So that's something I will definitely cover. So அடுத்த வீடியோ will be in Tamil. So yeah, so let's wait for her. So I think she actually was off. Okay, I do not know why she exited. Let's wait up for her. Yeah. Hope Sushant Singh Rajput will get justice, but a lot of people are involved. In fact, it's interlinked. So we don't know how this is gonna go. Yes, G.
Yeah. Am I clear now?
Yes.
Yeah. So where was I? Okay. But the fact is, otherwise, anyways, all I need to do is keep all these matters out and then leave it on to the public. A simple question that needs to be asked is, which party did PV Narasimha Rao and Rajiv Gandhi belong to? I know it will make the entire effort of mine political if I go there. But if need be, if the truth has to come out this way, so be it political or non political, is not the question that I am searching an answer for. The answer that I am trying to find is between inhuman and human. And it's my duty to keep it out upfront, whatever I lay my hands on, and leave it up to the perspectives of the individuals to decide what they want to conclude. But in my words, I would strongly quote, I am not in favor of anyone, nor am I interested in this dirty game of politics. My only interest is that humanity is suffering, and this suffering has to stop because we have suffered enough. Everyone has faced enough pain. Now it's the time to unite and walk towards prosperity. And I will make it happen. I know it will take time, but efforts put by me will be worth it by the time my efforts start to deliver results. The Reliance Communications loss was covered up when Reliance Jio started operations. And when in the initial days, the Reliance Jio operated on the spectrum of Reliance Communications and Reliance Communications declared bankruptcy later, the only reason Mukesh Ambani stepped in to help Anil Ambani was to keep this matter from coming out. And because this matter is now settled, this will remain the untold story of the dirty games that were being played during this period. Glad that a fresh petition is filed in the 2G case. And this time I will come out with what I have to say to the agencies on public domain. I will do it soon, then ask questions to them on open platforms. The experience I have had was a painful one, and I have learned from it. I will not go into it in detail because I do not want to shatter the hopes of the people, nor tarnish the image of those handful of honest people out there who are doing their jobs perfectly. What they did to me, I am trying to forget like a bad dream, because keeping this to myself is for the greater good of humanity. But one word of advice to someone starting fresh: leave traces of whatever you do. If you are going to meet someone in the agencies, have your set of trusted people who know the entire agenda of why you are going and what are the points that you are going to discuss there. Never carry originals till you are sure that what you intend to make it happen is the intention on the other side too. Else, things will change and you will have nothing but tears in your eyes and frustration in your heart. Kindly remember this: unless someone shows the intent in action, never share the real piece of your work. No matter how powerful the person is, neither consider whatever position he might be in. I have had my lessons the tough way. You have my advice here to make it smoother. But if you want to try it out, be prepared to face a lot of music and have a huge holiday. Don't think I am filling your mind with fear. All I am doing is just showing you the mirror, a mirror of what I have faced, and want to make sure that the next person who stands up for anything is at least aware of what is in store. I did not have anything that could tell me what would be in store, but I will ensure that people who follow me or take this up after me have at least some idea of what the days are going to be for them once they choose to walk this path. I feel so sad and sorry that there are warning signs everywhere, and we could never see through it. The time is not lost yet. There is enough time and energy left in me. Now that I know that this is what is happening, the only thing I need to be careful of is when to start, and how to make an impact. I will work out on a plan soon and keep continuing my work so that I ensure facts come out to the public to see. Then the public decides what the next course of action should be. Everyone has faced these problems that I have mentioned and will instantly connect to the reality and make their own permutations and combinations to decide the truth for themselves. And in this process, if I am able to successfully awaken even one single soul in this society, that would be the biggest gift I would get for my effort. As the saying goes, it's not important that you add years to life. It's very important to add life to the years you live. And if my mission is successful, the name Sushant Singh Rajput will be immortal. But the one thing I will ensure is that no one will misuse my name, not my friends or my family or the people associated with me. I will be a huge name for sure. But the one thing I want to request everyone here is that there is no need to make me a legendary figure and give mileage to everyone who is associated in any way with my name. If someone has done the work that deserves the credit, only then the work deserves the credit. No one deserves credit for the work which someone else has done. And this I feel everyone should get adjusted to. This is how the society will reform. We have instances in the past where the son takes credit for the work done by his father and other similar things around it. But what I want to make people understand is that it's the person who did it who deserves the credit, not the lineage that follows. This doesn't mean I don't like my people, but this always means that despite knowing what I am, if my people do not put an effort to understand what I am going through, then there is no way I would like to call them my people. Because if you want special privileges, be special. Simple. If not, you are the same common man. Your work makes you what you are. And if you have not worked around it, then you don't have any rights to enjoy the fruits for it. Now, when getting to the topic at hand, the one question that always strikes my mind is that whenever there was anything controversial about any happening that came out, the Ambani family made it out there. Somehow, in most of the cases, but how is it that this family still is able to be clean? When you sit back and see it without letting anything come into your mind, it's quite clear that the family has some dirty, deep secrets. But why is it that there is no proper inquiry made on this? And why is it that and what is it that is stopping everyone? You just see each and every businessman at one point or other is facing the music or is on the radar. But this family seems to never make it there. What is the reason behind it? These questions of mine sound completely valid to me, but I am not sure how you would go about it or think on it. The only thing that comes here is the way these people have operated, be it from the times of the father to the times of both the sons. Now they always have made friends everywhere and are open for anything, any kind of a deal. There are like water who can be mixed with anything and get along well. This is how these people work. I feel so sick of this, but what do we do? We have no other option because till now there is no one who can stand against these people. And if someone tries to stand against them, then there is no record of this. I am quite amused that the very few who tried to make a stand were silenced in such a way that now they are in no ways interested to even speak about it. In continuation, the 2G scam, according to me, is just the tip of the iceberg of the amount of organized crimes a lot of these big names have their names in. Maybe can be called as the latest one. And if our work that we are doing around this goes on the right path, we will be able to find solid evidences around this. And then we can ensure that we will put a break to these people's wicked intentions and also put a full stop to how they have been exploiting people. But I sincerely feel that sports events like IPL should happen after thorough screening of the funds and the other aspects around it. And I have pointed out the facts as to why this is needed. Because these events actually play a very important role in creating that bridge wherein these people exploit a lot of things and never does anything comes out. because most of the times these events give them that cover wherein any crime they want to do, they can weave the same around such events. I'm not trying to spin venom here, but I myself was the owner of a sports team and I have seen these things happen from a very close angle back then. I had my hands tied. But once I was free from those bonds, now I think I have all the material that is required for me to expose these people. All I am waiting is for Sandeep to get back on that, some minute details, so that we can streamline this expose because this is not that easy. When the name is so big, we need to be very careful around it. That is how we can get these weeds out. This family has been a big thorn in the society and has managed to keep their crimes under the wraps since a very long time. But now, not anymore. I might take some time for this, but when I start, I will ensure I will leave a lot of traces behind on this. Because when I take these people on, I will have to do this. I will have to have proper backup, else I will fall flat on my face and all my efforts will go waste. So, the only way I can succeed if I have to, then what I have to do is I have to ensure that make sure I leave traces behind for people to join this movement. And what I mean by people joining the movement is that people should take wise and logical decisions around this and ensure that they know what they are doing. This is the only thing that I would expect from people. As the people who are the backbone of our country, if they come together, then there is no power in our country that can put a full stop to this growing superpower. We have everything in us. The only thing we lack is that we don't have our energies channelized. So we need to make sure that we channelize this, and I will ensure I will create that platform, and this time we will keep it all out in the public domain. I'm sure that even if 1% of the people understand this and stand with me, that will be more than enough to uproot the very existence of these people. The start might be a little difficult, but once it starts and as time goes, the movement will grow. And this is how it will become a revolution. Having my fingers crossed and with total trust with the divine, I will start this and leave the rest to the Almighty to give it the closing touch. If I am put to rest during this process, I am sure my work will do the trick and my backup plan will come into action. But if someone happens to lay their hands on this work in their fight or mission, then the one thing I can assure you is that this work will be of great help because I have ensured that I have penned down everything as and how it has happened. And this will help each of us achieve what our common goal is, a clean society. For me, the only thing I expect as returns from my effort is clean society and nothing more. So, if my work achieves this, then there is no looking back for a clean society. The society we all want, where there will be happiness and peace everywhere. In the next chapter, I will explain how the Nasli Wadia incident and the conspiracy around the attempt that was planned to kill him, what was the motive behind it, and how successful it was, and the incidents that happened around this. So, Bachchan ji,
Yes, Ji.
yeah, would you like to say something about, or anyone would like to join in?
Yeah, there's one part that you said that Sushant himself was mentioning, my name is immortal. Actually, very well said. I think Mitra came in to comment on that. Something that ran in my head. His name is always immortal for whatever that is actually revealing. 10
Yeah,
years from
he
now, I think when you.
says, yeah, he says, and if my mission is successful, the name Sushant Singh Rajput will be immortal.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it says. Yeah.
yeah. For what he is, I think even 10 years from now, when you look back, they will still talk about this incident and how brutally he was actually taken away. And there's a lot of big names have been exposed to. Even I do not know what is the development now from the time you met the CBI. But even though you're going to get into their hand, I believe that's a lot of big names may not be. Probably they may not even cover certain parts of this diaries.
See, it's let us not be too naive to expect that whatever names are being exposed, they all will be acted upon or they all will be called by the agencies. So it's not like that. See, the main thing is that how do I put it? See, there are some slides. which I think, I don't know if I have read it on your show or not, in which he has clearly mentioned that his set of people, those who were with him,
Yeah.
Riya Chakravarti, Shovik, Siddharth,
Mm.
Deepesh, and some other names,
Mm.
that they were the ones who had betrayed him, and if anything happens to him, then these people together or one of these will be responsible.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, for the case there of Sushant Singh's mysterious death, some parts are really very very relevant.
Mm.
So this information that I'm reading is just because Sushant has taken so much pain to document each and everything.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so and for he has done it for to make the public aware, to make people aware of what actually is happening. So it is only fair that I put it in front of the public, the entire thing. Let us not be foolish enough to believe that whatever names have come out or some buffer scam or something, they will be relevant to the case at hand, to the case of Sushant's mysterious death. But then there will be many indications and everything, and it gives a clear direction to the agency from where to start. The direction was always there because Riya, whoever was present on the scene, even Sandeep Singh, they should have been interrogated.
Yeah.
If not by Mumbai police, they should have been interrogated when CBI took the charge.
Correct.
So I don't know if anything of that sort happened or not, and things are moving very slowly, very slowly. If this is the pace at how investigations happen, then yeah, I can understand why cases and crimes take years and decades to solve in India. It's sad.
Yeah, it is sad. By then the culprits would have lived a wonderful life. So what's the
Yeah,
purpose of
see,
coming back with that? Yeah.
exactly. People live their life and they somehow even, died of old age and all.
Yeah.
But
Correct.
so, it's like, see, it's like with such, the easiest way to deny justice is to delay it, right? And when
Yes.
you keep delaying justice, the criminals get that encouragement because they are seeing that yes, they can commit crimes and they can still get away with it.
When I can get away
So,
from this, I can
yes.
get away from
So,
next and the following. Yeah.
so it is not acceptable that our judicial systems and the law enforcement agencies are encouraging crime this way by not solving investigations on time, by not delivering justice on time. They are in a way encouraging for the crimes to happen further, right?
Yes.
Who
Yes.
will take who will take responsibility for this? Who will
Yes.
be held accountable for this?
And not just one case. So many cases. There's no justice. Been
Lot,
delayed and
lot.
delayed. Yeah.
These are some that are coming because of the names that are involved. They are stars, celebrities.
Yeah.
But
Correct.
there are so many other crimes that happen, and like another such not so popular incident is the case of missing Ajitab from
Mm.
Bangalore.
Mm.
So there are many such cases. Where there have been shoddy investigations or there have been no investigations at all.
Yeah. Correct.
Thankfully, I haven't had any personal experience of such. Regarding me or something, but ironically, it's such a big irony that a common person is having to fight for justice of celebrities. What can be a bigger,
Yeah.
what can be a bigger
Yeah.
irony than this?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's a sad part that none of the media colleagues are fighting for him at all.
No, neither the media, none of their colleagues, none of, and family to forget. In some cases, the family itself is involved. I'm talking about Sridevi.
Mm.
So I don't understand this. None. And for such big stars, who have lakhs and millions of followers, a common man, someone who is not even connected to anything in any way, has to fight for the justice of celebrities, and that too. Media is not even covering.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, the day he died, I didn't even see much of his, media people attending. Maybe one or two or three of them. Most
I
of
didn't
them didn't even
follow.
turn up. Yeah,
I didn't
I
follow
saw
his
the news.
case. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
follow his case much, Bachchanji, because I was into Srideviji's case. So
Yeah.
like a lot of, I was also facing a lot of harassment and going through a lot of frustration. So I mean, I was not at all following Sushant's mysterious death. Some
Yeah.
passing news used to come, but I'm not even aware what happened in all those months. It's just that in the month of January this year, 2021, when we came to know, because since we were investigating into Srideviji's death, and we were trying to find some informations and some proofs and all, some evidences, someone to speak,
Mhm.
to talk to. So we have spoken to many of her colleagues as well, but who don't want to be named, and they have given some account of domestic violence, of she having faced domestic violence and all that.
Hmm.
So
Someone here was
strange.
asking about Sri Devi's case, actually. One of my viewers, yeah. Any updates
Sridevi's
on Sri
case,
Devi's
yeah,
case?
people, yeah, I mean, it's going on. It's going on. I'm not permitted to talk about it, but yeah, people will hear about it soon. From, I mean, from outside, not from me, but people will hear about it soon.
Okay. And as much like Sushant mentioned, his mission is successful. I have to say that through DPG, somehow it came into your hand, and now the whole
No,
world are watching it.
I'm not still not satisfied, Bachchanji. I want
Yeah.
each of yours, like yours, Mitrajis and Meenajis, each of you should have millions and millions of subscribers. Your
Thank
video
you.
should, yeah,
Yeah.
your video should reach. I want it to reach even more people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We need to ensure that each and every citizen of India is aware of what is written in the diaries. They
Yes.
have to be aware of what is written. You want to believe, you don't want to believe with his ideology, that's up to, but you should know at least.
Yes. Exactly. Correct. He put in a lot of effort and he put his life at stake to actually
Exactly.
write it down and expose. Mm.
Not only he, we have many others like Disha and Sushant's friend Sandeep Nahar, Asif Basra, and a lot of other people were also killed. So I don't know. I have not yet come across their names. So and even Sridevi ji and Divya Bharti, Gulshan Kumar.
Yeah. Jia.
Jia Khan wanted to leave. Jia Khan wanted to leave this guy, Suresh
Yeah.
Pancholi. And I think he got afraid that if he leaves, and she might be knowing some of his inner secrets, like his dealings or
Mm.
something. And there was one vacation, I think. There was one
In
vacation
Goa, is it?
which
Is it Goa?
I don't know. He mentioned something about Agni Hotri is coming and spoiling the vacation, and something like that happened
Mm.
with Jia and Suresh Pancholi.
Mm.
So she was about to leave him, and I think
Yeah.
his
Sad.
ego and his fear that if she goes, some secrets go out, may
Mm.
have led him to kill her.
Mm.
So
Correct. Well, how is it? I mean, the last time you met, you tried to reach out to the CBI. Is there any development from there? I mean, you can share
I
it. If you do not want to share it,
yeah,
it's okay.
no,
Okay.
I already told you. I think I got a call after 4 days from coming after coming from Delhi from Anil Yadav, one of the officers of CBI.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so he asked about me and about the drives, and then I told him that it's a request that if you set a meeting, kindly ensure that your your IT team is with you in that meeting, because I can't keep carrying the drives with me, to and fro. It's
Mm.
risk because very sensitive information is stored, so it's kind of risk. Kindly ensure that whatever appointment you give me, your IT team is present in that. It's hardly a matter of 1 or 2 hours to get the credentials of the drives verified. And once they are authenticated as having belonged to Sushant, after they give a public statement saying so, my job is over. Of course, I will continue sharing the contents with the public.
Mm. Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, but okay. Gigi, I have to thank you so much because 1 hour of reading, no joke. When I see you reading, like previously I used to say, I feel like drinking water because it's not easy. Seriously, I'm repeating this again, but each time I see you read, I'm like sitting down here. For me, I'm just listening to you, but it's not easy. So thanks for taking up this mission to fight for the justice of Sushant and um, helping him fulfill his mission. So yeah, thank you.
I am just helping myself, Bachanji.
Mm,
I mean, okay, if you don't know, then it's okay. But if you have come across something, you just simply can't, ignore it and
mm,
not do anything about it, right? I mean that.
mm,
So I mean, it's happening. Things are happening. Maybe it's the beginning of the end of the evil run of these people. Sushant's death is that call for the awakening of the masses to what is the actual reality that is around, and if they are okay with it, if they want to continue with it, or if they should take a stand against it.
mm. So let's
Because
continue.
the mess that we are in, everything, right from the climate change to whatever the situation is in Afghanistan now, or
Yeah.
anywhere, even the pandemic and everything, the mess that we are in, the prime reason is greed of few people,
Yes.
few corporates, few people who control the governments, who are the decision makers as far as the world economy is concerned and all that.
Yeah.
So we are the workforce for them. So it's time we know that what this is what it is, and if we are okay with it, then of course, I don't know what more to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, DPG, I shall not hold you any longer. Thank you for coming on the show and thank you for reading Sushant Diaries and exposing a lot of information that have been written by Sushant. Thank you so much. And
Thank you, Bachandi.
and
Thank you. Please continue this. Yeah, good job. Keep the people engaged and keep them, remain with this moment.
yeah, so many
Okay.
messages I forgot to highlight it. DPG, please do stay safe.
Yes, sure.
Yes, and I'll pray for your safety too.
Yeah,
And let's
sure.
we all pray for Sushant's justice and not only for him, for all those who have been, no justice has been given to them. Thank you so much and good night, DPG.
Good night. Good night. Good night, Bachandi. Thank you.
Oh, good night. Okay, bye bye. Okay, yes, that's about it. So sorry, I actually missed out some of the messages. Nelson, do you think that the is dead? One YouTuber claimed he's been treated in. No, Nelson, I think he have his family were here to do the cremation. So I don't think. I mean, I wish as much as I wish that it's not dead, but he have left us, and they have brutally have tortured him, brutally killed him, and got rid of him. Sadly, that's what happened. And hope we can turn around the time, and hope all these things would not have happened. Be nice to see Sushant on the screen. Yeah, but sadly, it's all have happened, Nelson. Meenakshi, thank you so much. Yes, very correct. Deputy. Yes, she have left. The moving government also what comment there? There's a lot of names have been interlinked in this case. If you can, you read the um, diaries or when you listen to the diaries when deeply read it or in Mitra G actually cover it, you realize a lot of big names are being actually mentioned and by this case is going to expose a lot of big names. So because of that, whether will they be exposed, whether the big names going their heads going to roll or the small names head going to roll, we do not know. I At least there must be some justice association. That's what I'm hoping for. Of course, whoever is involved, even the CBI or anybody, not going to give justice association, but there's such thing called God and there's such thing called karma. And the current situation, you can see the police force was like strongly going after Arnab Goswami and the former commissioner of Mumbai police. All these people's names now been exposed in the charge sheet. Sachin Wazi have been charged with murder case of Mansukh Hiran. So yeah, all these are karmic. If you do not get caught in Sushant's case, somehow or other along the way, all these culprits will get caught. Karma will catch up. That's a belief. I mean, as a Hindu, I believe that. And with that note, I'm going to leave. Mitra, thank you so much. If any ask. Um, yes. Thank you everyone for joining me. I will come back with another Tamil video. Just looking at what topic to cover. I will probably write it in the in my YouTube channel. So do vote which topic you want to listen. You want to hear it from me. Yeah. Okay. And yes, have a good night and a good evening. Thank you. நன்றி வணக்கம் அனைவருக்கும். Bye bye.